Welcome, welcome. This is a glossary of astrological techniques and methodologies. But before we get started, I'd appreciate if you subscribe, like, comment, and share if you dare and care, with peace and love, so we can teach you astrology for free. Alright, so we're going to start with A words. So we have abscission, meaning the cutting off of a planetary aspect before it can perfect, usually by the faster planet changing sign or by an intervening aspect from a third planet. In horary and natal prediction, abscission indicates frustration or a prevented outcome, Hellenistic, medieval. Alcocodon, in medieval Arabic astrology, the planet that distributes the years of life after the high leg life giver. It's determined by certain dignities and aspects to the high leg used in lifespan analysis and primary directions. Islamic Renaissance, alright? And we see Al-Muten is the planet that holds the most essential dignity in a given point. For example, the ascendant, the house cusp, or the part of fortune, calculated by assigning weighted points for rulership, exaltation, triplicity, term, and face. Islamic, medieval. Antasia and contra-antasia, points of reflection across the solstitial axes, so 0 degrees Cancer through 0 degrees Capricorn. Two planets at equal distance from the solstice points are an anti-scion, also called shadow, and are considered to have a hidden connection akin to conjunction or opposition, used extensively in traditional and modern predictive work, Hellenistic, medieval, modern. Alright. Aphesis, the Greek term for the process of releasing a planet from its bound term or from the sun's beams, also used in reference to primary directions. Aphesis is the point of departure for the directed ascendant, Hellenistic. In Arabic parts, also lots, mathematical points derived from the positions of 2 or 3 planets' points, traditionally calculated as the ascendant in planet A subtracting planet B. The part of fortune is the best known. Hundreds of lots exist for specific life areas. Originated in Hellenistic astrology, expanded by Arabic authors. So Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval. Aspect, an angular relationship between 2 points based on division of the circle. Standard Ptolemaic aspects: conjunction 0 degrees, sextile 60 degrees, square 90 degrees, trine 120 degrees, opposition 180 degrees. Modern additions include semisextile 30 degrees, quincunx inconjunct 150 degrees, quintile 72 degrees, etc. Aspects are classified as applying, approaching exact, or separating past exact. This is for all traditions, alright? Aspect patterns. Geometric configurations formed by 3 or more planets. So for example, a T-square, a grand trine, a grand cross, a yod, finger of God, a kite, a stellium. These patterns are interpreted as cohesive thematic complexes, modern Western. Astrological magic, the practice of creating talismans, images, or rituals at astrologically elected times to capture celestial virtues, rooted in Neoplatonic and Hermetic traditions. So for example, Picatrix. Techniques involve planetary hours, fixed star risings, and electional criteria. Renaissance, modern revival. Alright, B for balsamic moon. The lunar phase from approximately 45 degrees behind the sun to the moment of conjunction, dark moon. In predictive work, it signifies endings, release, and preparation for a new cycle. Modern evolutionary and electional. Bindu, in Vedic astrology, Jyotisha, a dot representing a planet's strength or specific sensitive point, also refers to the Ashtakavarga points that indicate planetary influences. This is Vedic. Bounds, also known as terms, are divisions of each zodiac sign into 5 unequal segments, each ruled by a planet. The Chaldean Egyptian term system is most common in Western traditional astrology. Used for timing, planetary strength, and horary delineation. Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval. As well as bow of the moon, a technique in horary and medieval predictive astrology where the moon's last aspect before leaving its current sign is examined for timing and event type indication. This is Islamic and medieval tradition. Right, C. We're going to talk about a cadent house. So a cadent house is, well, the houses that follow the succedent houses, right? 3rd, 6th, 9th, and 12th. So in traditional astrology, cadent houses are considered weak for planetary expression unless a planet is in its domicile or exaltation. Hellenistic medieval. Cast, to cast a chart, the act of calculating and constructing a horoscope for a given moment and place. Chart ruler, the planet that governs the ascendant sign. In many traditions, it serves as the overall significator of the native's life direction and vitality. In all traditions. Chaldean order, it's a sequence of planetary spheres using planetary hours, decanic systems, and certain magical traditions. The order is Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Hellenistic Islamic medieval. Climactic critical degrees. Specific degrees in the zodiac considered to have special power or sensitivity, such as the Anaretic degree, 29, the knots, 0 Aries, 0 Cancer, etc., and degrees associated with fixed stars. Hellenistic medieval Vedic. Collection of light. A horary and predictive technique where two planets that do not aspect each other instead aspect a third planet that receives both, transferring their energies. The third planet collects their light. Islamic medieval. Combust. A planet is combust when it is within 8 degrees 30 or up to 17 degrees in some traditions of the sun, considered weakened and hidden. Under the sun's beams within 15 through 17 degrees is a state of debility short of combustion. Hellenistic medieval Vedic. Composite chart. A midpoint technique that creates a single chart from the midpoints of two individuals' planetary positions, representing the relationship as an entity. Distinct from synastry, modern Western, 20th century. Cosmobiology, a mid-20th century methodology that emphasizes midpoints and a streamlined set of planets, including trans-Neptunians in some branches. It rejects house systems and focuses on aspects and planetary pictures, modern Western. And again, we can see climactic degrees or rewind the video to understand critical degrees. Dasa. In Vedic astrology, a system of planetary periods that assign each planet a time span of influence based on the moon's natal nakshatra. The Vimsotari dasa is the most widely used. Other dasa systems, for example Ashtotari, Yogini, serve specific purposes. Timing of events is derived from subperiods, bhukti, and sub-subperiods. Vedic. Decan, also face, a division of each zodiac sign into 3 equal 10-degree segments, each ruled by a planet in Chaldean order. Used for planetary strength, temperament analysis, and magical timing. Egyptian, Hellenistic, medieval. Derived houses, or turning the chart, a technique where houses are rotated to reflect another person's perspective in horary, synastry, or mundane astrology. So for example, the 7th house represents the spouse, the 10th from the 7th, i.e. the 4th house of the natal chart, represents the spouse's career. Hellenistic, Islamic, modern. Dignity, the strength of a planet based on its position relative to zodiacal rulership structures. Essential dignity, rulership, exaltation, triplicity, term, face. In Western tradition, Swakshetra, Uchcha, Mula Trikona, Varga dignities, Vedic. Accidental dignity, strength derived from house placement, aspects, speed, angularity, and freedom from combustion or retrogradity. A planet lacking essential dignity is peregrine, Western, or Nietzsche, Vedic, all traditions. Alright, direct motion, the normal forward motion of a planet through the zodiac, as opposed to retrograde or stationary. Planets are considered more natural or uninhibited when direct, all traditions. And again, you can rewind. We talked about primary direction, secondary progression, solar arc, and that's a part of this. Dodecatemoria, also duodecima, a technique that divides each zodiac sign into 12 parts, assigning each part of the quality of a sign used to refine planetary significators. Hellenistic, medieval. Dorifori, or spear-bearing. In Hellenistic astrology, the condition of a planet that rises ahead of the sun in the morning is considered a spear-bearer, indicating strength and visibility, contrasted with the planet that sets after the sun, evening star. Hellenistic. Dual mutable signs. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, associated with adaptability, distribution, and fluidity. All traditions. Dwadashamsa, Tvadasamsa, okay. The Vedic divisional chart Varga, for the 12th harmonic representing family relationships, parental influences, and hidden patterns. Vedic. Right. Electional astrology, also Katarchik, the methodology of selecting the most favorable moment to initiate an action. So, for example, surgery, wedding, business launch. Techniques include avoiding afflicted moon, selecting a strong rising sign, and matching planetary significators to the nature of the undertaking. All traditions. Ephemeris, it's a table of planetary positions over time, essential for all calculational astrological work in all traditions. So, essential dignity we talked about. Exaltation, a zodiac sign where a planet is considered to be in a state of honor, second in strength to its domicile. Opposite point is its fall, Hellenistic, medieval, and Vedic. Exaltation degree, a specific degree within the exaltation sign where the planet is most powerfully placed. So, for example, Sun at 19 degrees Aries, used in advanced strength calculations. Hellenistic, Islamic. Right. Face, that's the same thing as the deacon here. Fardaria or Fardar, a medieval Persian and Arabic planetary period system that assigns sequences of years to planets and zodiacal signs in a fixed order, used for timing major life phases. Islamic, medieval. Fardar, see Fardaria, fixed stars, stars considered to have specific astrological influences, often classified by magnitude in Purans, rising, culminating, setting, or on the nadir. Techniques include Purana Talonta, stars that rise with a sign in conjunction with planets or angles, used in all traditions with emphasis differing across cultures. Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval, modern. Fulfillment, perfection. In horary astrology, the point when an aspect between significators becomes exact, indicating the completion of a matter. Islamic, medieval. Alright. Gairika, a Vedic technique for assessing planetary condition using the Shadbala sixfold strength. This looks like strong now that I wrote over it. It's a sixfold strength system which calculates numerical values for each planet's positional, directional, temporal, and other strengths. Vedic. Gokara, the Vedic term for transits, the movement of planets through the zodiac relative to the natal chart, interpreted with special attention to the moon's transit over natal planets and the Ashtaka-Varga system. Vedic. Granthi, in Vedic astrology, a knot or point of intense connection often used to describe planetary conjunctions or specific divisional chart combinations, indicating obstacles or strong karmic bonds. Vedic. Graphic ephemeris. It's a visual tool that plots planetary longitudes over time, allowing quick identification of retrograde loops, station points, and aspect patterns. Modern. Each word's harmonics. It's a modern technique developed by John Addy that treats the zodiac as a circle of 360 degrees and extracts subcharts based on multiplying the longitude by a whole number. So, for example, 5th harmonic for creativity, 9th for spiritual ideals. Harmonic charts reveal archetypal structures not obvious in the natal chart. Modern Western. Haze is a traditional concept of planetary sect and hemispheric appropriateness. A diurnal planet in a day chart, sun above the horizon and above the horizon, is in haze. A nocturnal planet in a night chart and below the horizon similarly confers accidental dignity. Hellenistic, medieval. So Hellenistic houses, see whole sign houses, the house systems. Methodologies for dividing the ecliptic into 12 houses. So whole sign, entire sign placed on a house, oldest Hellenistic system. Equal house, 30 degrees divisions beginning at ascendant degree. Quadrant systems, Placidus, Koch, Regiomontanus, Campanus, divide the quadrants of diurnal rotation. Each yields varying cusp positions. Topocentric, a refinement of Placidus. Each system alters house cusps and therefore planetary house rulerships. All traditions. High leg, also a Theta, the life giver, a planet or a point in the chart that governs vitality, determined by a set of rules involving the sun, moon, ascendant, part of fortune, and prenatal lunation. Used in longevity assessment and primary directions, Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval. Alright, ingress, the entry of a planet into a new zodiac sign, particularly used for mundane astrology, so for example, Aries ingress chart for yearly predictions and for tracking planetary shifts, all traditions. In conjunct, see quincunx, intercepted sign, so sign that does not appear on any house cusp in quadrant house systems. It is enclosed between two houses. Modern psychological astrologers interpret this as a blockage or latent area of development. Modern Western. Ishtafala, in Vedic astrology, the strength of desire calculation, a component of Shadbala measuring how effectively a planet can fulfill its intentions. Vedic. Alright, karma, karmic indications. A conceptual rather than calculational technique, the examination of the South Node Ketu and North Node Rahu in Vedic astrology, or the 12th and 4th houses in Western traditions for patterns of unfinished cycles, so Vedic and modern Western. Ketu, see lunar nodes. Right. Loka, planetary loka. In Vedic astrology, the celestial positions measured in loka for certain planetary longitudes used in some timing techniques, lokapala, Vedic. Lots, see Arabic parts. Lunar nodes, the points where the moon's orbit intersects the ecliptic. So North Node, Rahu, and South Node, Ketu, used in all traditions. In Vedic, they are treated as shadow planets with strong karmic significance. In Western, often as evolutionary growth points, all traditions. Lunation cycle, the progression of the moon from new to full and back, used for predictive timing, seed planting, and electional work, and as a framework for personal cycles, in all traditions. Malefic, a planet traditionally considered challenging, Saturn greater malefic and Mars lesser malefic. In modern practice, the term is often softened to dynamic or challenging energies, Hellenistic, medieval, Vedic. Alright, midheaven MC, the highest point in the chart, cusp of the 10,000 quadrant systems. Its degree and ruler are primary indicators of career, public life, and reputation in all traditions. What is a midpoint? The point exactly halfway between two planets or points, uses a sensitive point in cosmobiology, Uranian astrology, and modern predictive work. Transits to midpoints are significant. Modern. Models, triplicities, the three qualities being cardinal, initiating, fixed, sustaining, mutable, adapting, used for temperament analysis and predictive timing, all traditions. Mula Trikona, in Vedic astrology, a specific range of degrees within a planet's domicile sign, considered its highest essential dignity, even stronger than the full domicile. Vedic. Right, mundane aspects. Aspects calculated along the celestial equator or in right ascension, i.e. in the prime vertical, used in primary directions and some traditional predictive techniques, Hellenistic, medieval. This is a specialized Vedic technique based on ancient palm leaf manuscripts, nadi, where predictions are derived from the moon's position in nakshatra and specific planetary combinations, often used for detailed life, event, timing, and spiritual insights, Vedic. Nakshatra, the 27 lunar mansions of Vedic astrology. Each nakshatra covers 13 degrees 22, holy shit, I had a brain fart. Each nakshatra covers 13 degrees 20 and has a ruling deity, planetary lord, and symbolic qualities. Nakshatra analysis is used for personality assessment, electional timing, muhurta, and dasa system foundation. It's Vedic. Navamsa is the 9th harmonic divisional chart in Vedic astrology. It's essential for assessing marriage, dharma, and the inner nature of the planets, often considered as important as the natal Razi chart. Vedic. Niranbala a component of Shadbala in Vedic astrology that measures a planet's inherent strength independent of house position, Vedic. Novian, the Western equivalent of the Navamsa used primarily in 20th century harmonic astrology, modern Western. Oikodespotis is the housemaster, the planet that rules the majority of the chart's essential dignities in Hellenistic astrology, used as a general indicator of life direction, Hellenistic. Omen, celestial omen methodology, the oldest astrological technique interpreting eclipses, comets, meteors, and unusual planetary alignments as signs of collective events, often integrated into mundane astrology, Babylonian, Chinese, Vedic origins. Orb is the maximum angular distance within which an aspect is considered active. Orbs vary by planet, aspect, and tradition. So, for example, conjunction, 8 degrees through 10 degrees, opposition, 7 degrees through 8 degrees, etc. All traditions. Out of sign aspect. It's an aspect that is exact by degree but occurs with planets and signs that do not traditionally aspect each other. So, for example, a square between 29 degrees Aries and 1 degrees Cancer, treated with nuance in traditional and modern practice, all traditions. Parallax in Hellenistic and medieval astrology is the correction for the moon's position based on geographical latitude, affecting house cusps in the ascendant and higher latitudes, rarely used in modern software but historically significant, Hellenistic Islamic. Parana Talonta, fixed stars that rise or set with a given zodiac sign, considered to impart additional qualities to that sign, Hellenistic medieval. Part of fortune, see Arabic parts. Peregrine is a planet without essential dignity in a given degree, neither in its domicile, exaltation, triplicity, term, nor face, indicates a vagrant, uncertain influence, Hellenistic medieval. Planetary condition is the overall assessment of a planetary strength based on essential dignity, accidental dignity, sect, aspects, and phase. So, for example, Oriental, Occidental, used for judging its ability to act effectively in all traditions. Planetary hours, division of daylight and nighttime into 12 equal hours each, ruled by the planets in Chaldean order, used extensively in electional astrology and astrological magic, Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval. Planetary pictures, technique from the Hamburg School, Iranian astrology, where midpoints are combined into configurations. So, for example, A equals B plus C to derive symbolic meanings for events, modern Western. Precession, the gradual shift of the equinoxes relative to fixed stars, differentiates the tropical zodiac used in Western astrology from the sidereal zodiac used in Vedic and some Western sidereal approaches, all traditions. Primary directions. It's a predictive technique that advances the angles, especially the ascendant and midheaven, by 1 degree per year of life, using a time equivalent derived from the Earth's rotation. Each degree of the ecliptic is moved to the position of the angles, and aspects to natal planets are calculated. Hellenistic, medieval, Renaissance. Profections, a timing method where the ascendant moves 1 sign per year, annual profections, and houses are turned accordingly. Also monthly, daily, and hourly profections used to identify themes and activate house rulers. Hellenistic, medieval. Progressions, see secondary progressions, solar arc. Prohibition, in horary astrology, an aspect between significators is prevented from perfecting because a third planet makes an aspect to one of them first, indicates interference or blockage. Islamic, medieval. Alright, Q, quadrant houses, see house systems. Quincunx, inconjunct, is an aspect of 150 degrees, 5 signs apart, modernly associated with adjustment and health issues, traditionally considered an adverse relationship without a natural flow. Modern with precedent in medieval version. Alright, Rahu, see lunar nodes. Rashi, it's a zodiac sign in Vedic astrology. Rashi chart refers to the natal chart and natal chart in the sidereal zodiac, Vedic. Reception is a condition where a planet is placed in a sign ruled by another planet and that ruler aspects it. Mutual reception occurs when 2 planets are in each other's domiciles. Reception amplifies willingness to act or assist. Hellenistic, Islamic, medieval. Refrenation. It's an aspect that begins to apply but then reverses direction due to planetary station or retrograde before perfecting, indicates a failed outcome, Islamic, medieval. Regiomontanus houses, see house systems. Retrograde motion is the apparent backward motion of a planet as seen from Earth. Traditional interpretation is weakened, introverted, or out of step. In Vedic, retrograde planets, Vakri, are considered strong but unpredictable, all traditions. Ruler of the year, Lord of the year, is a planet identified through annual profections or solar return techniques that governs the themes of a given year. Hellenistic, medieval, modern. Saham is the Arabic term for lots, parts, see Arabic parts. Secondary progressions, a predictive method where one day after birth corresponds to 1 year of life. The progressed positions of planets in the progressed ascendant midheaven are calculated, used widely in modern Western astrology, so modern Western. Sect is a planet's alignment with day or night. Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, diurnal sect. Moon, Venus, Mars, nocturnal sect. Mercury is common. Sect informs temperament, planetary condition, and timing preferences. Hellenistic, medieval. Sadbala is a Vedic system of six-fold planetary strength, calculating numerical values for positional, directional, temporal, emotional, natural, and desire strengths, used to determine a planet's ability to produce results. Vedic. Sign rulership, the assignment of planets to signs, traditional rulers, Mars, Aries, etc., and modern outer planet rulers, Uranus, Aquarius, Neptune, Pisces, Pluto, Scorpio. Rulership is a foundational technique for essential dignity and house interpretation in all traditions. Solar arc is a modern predictive technique that advances all planets and angles by the same number of degrees as the sun's secondary progression. Directions are calculated as solar arc equals sun's progressed longitude minus sun's natal longitude. Modern Western. Solar return is a chart cast for the moment the sun returns to its natal position each year, used to forecast themes for the upcoming year. Often interpreted with techniques such as house emphasis, angular planets, and aspects to the natal chart. Hellenistic, medieval, modern. Stellium is a concentration of 3 or more planets in the same sign or house, interpreted as a focal area of energy, all traditions. Station, the moment a planet appears to stop moving before changing direction, direct to retrograde or retrograde to direct. A stationary planet is considered powerfully emphasized in all traditions. Succedent house, houses that follow the angular houses, the 2nd, the 5th, the 8th, and the 11th. Associated with stability and consolidation, Hellenistic, medieval. Synastry, the comparison of two natal charts to assess relational dynamics using overlays, house placements of one person's planets in the other's chart, and aspects between the charts in all traditions. Syzygy, the lunation, new or full moon, immediately preceding a birth or event, used in Hellenistic timing techniques and as part of the highlight determination. Hellenistic. Alright, Tajika is a Persian-influenced branch of Vedic astrology, specializing in annual charts, solar returns, known as Tajika Varshafala. It uses unique techniques such as Munta, annual profection point, Sahams, and the triplicity lords of the return chart, Vedic Islamic. Term, sea bounds, Thema Mundi, the hypothetical chart of the world's creation. Used in Hellenistic astrology to establish planetary joys, exaltations, and the logic of house meanings. A foundational pedagogical tool. Hellenistic. Time Lord, Chronocrator. Any planetary period ruler, so for example Daza Lord in Vedic, Fardar in Islamic, Profection Lord in Hellenistic, or the Triplicity Lord of the Lunation in some medieval systems. A core technique for timing major life phases, all traditions. Transit is the ongoing movement of planets through the zodiac relative to a natal chart, interpreted with attention to aspects, ingress, and retrogradation, all traditions. Translation of light. It's a horary technique where a faster planet separates from one significator and applies to another, conveying energy and completing the matter, Islamic, medieval. Triplicity is a division of the zodiac into 3 groups of 4 signs, each assigned a planetary ruler, day, night, and participating, used for essential dignity and temperament analysis, Hellenistic, medieval, Vedic. Tropical zodiac, the zodiac aligned with the equinoxes and solstices used in Western astrology. Its basis is seasonal rather than stellar. Western. Turning the chart, see derived houses. In Uranian astrology, see Hamburg School under planetary pictures. So Vargotama, in Vedic astrology, is a planet occupying the same sign in the natal chart, Razi, and the Navamsa or other Varga is considered especially strong, Vargotama, Vedic. Vedic astrology, Jyotisha techniques, a vast body including yogas, planetary combinations, Ashtaka Varga, transit strength points, Shodasha Varga, 16 divisional charts, Karakas, moving significators, Panchanga, 5 limbs of time, and Muhurta, electional. This is Vedic. Vimsotari Dasa, Siddhasa. Alright, whole sign houses. The oldest Western house system where each house equals one zodiac sign starting from the ascendant sign, used in Hellenistic, early medieval, and modern traditional revival practices. Hellenistic, modern traditional. We have Ziyu, lunar mansion methodology. In Chinese astrology, the 28 lunar mansions Ziyu are used for day selection, funeral timing, and evaluating the quality of time. Each mansion has a specific elemental and animal nature. Chinese. So you have yoga, your yogas. In Vedic astrology, specific planetary combinations that produce defined outcomes. So for example, Raja Yoga for power, Dana Yoga for wealth. There are hundreds of yoga formulas in classical texts. Vedic. Yod is a modern term for the finger of God pattern. 2 planets in sextiles, 60 degrees, both in quincunx 150 degrees to a third. Interpreted as a fated or developmental crisis. Modern Western. Zaihui Daoshu, Purple Star Astrology. It's a Chinese astrological methodology distinct from the 4 pillars, using 12 palaces and over 100 stars derived from a specialized birthday calculation. Techniques involve analyzing star brightness, palace interactions, and 4-phase transformations. Chinese. Zodiac, zodiacal release. A Hellenistic timing technique that releases periods based on the planetary ruler of certain lots, advancing through the signs at specific intervals. Hellenistic. Alright, so this glossary is intended as a reference for advanced practitioners. Each technique carries a historical lineage and philosophical assumptions. Mastery requires not only definitional knowledge, but immersion in the tradition from which the technique emerged. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace and love, Piscean out. Alright, and now I would like to give several appendices here, and it's essentially designed to accompany the glossary of ancient techniques we just went over. Essentially serving as a quick reference with tables, diagrams, and summaries that support the technical entries in the glossary. So, Appendix A, the Thema Mundi, is the birth chart of the world, foundational diagram of Hellenistic astrology. We see our signs, domicile, exaltation, triplicity rulers, and we also see House of Joy. Oops. Alright, so Aries, domicile being Mars, exaltation is Sun, triplicity ruler Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, and we see the House of Joy is the 12th house, which is created by Saturn here in this chart. So we continue along. So Taurus here, Venus, Moon, Mars, 6th house, Mars. Right. Gemini, Mercury, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, 1st house, Mercury. Again, Cancer, Moon, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Moon, 3rd house, Moon. Alright. Leo, Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, 9th house, Sun. Alright. Virgo, Mercury, Venus, Mars, 5th house, Venus. Libra, Venus, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, 2nd house. Scorpio, Mars, Venus, Mars, Moon, 8th house. Sagittarius, Jupiter, Sun, Jupiter, Saturn, 11th house, Jupiter. Capricorn, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Moon, Mars, 4th house. Aquarius, Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, 10th house. And Pisces, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Moon, 7th house. All right. And we see our notes here. Exaltations are traditionally given within degrees. All right. So for example, Sun at 19 degrees Aries, Moon at 3 degrees Taurus, etc. Triplicity rulers vary by author. This follows the Ptolemaic system as transmitted through later Hellenistic and medieval sources. The Thema Mundi assumes a diurnal chart with the ascendant at 15 degrees Cancer. All right, Appendix B, Essential Dignities, Hierarchy and Scale. So dignity, strength, value description. Domicile at 5, planet rules a sign, the highest dignity, the planet is at home. Exaltation, we had 4 points, planet in its sign of exaltation, honored and elevated. Triplicity, we had 3, planet rules the elemental trigon according to sect. Term bound, we had 2, planet within its assigned bounds, degrees vary by sign. And face decan, we add 1, planet within its 10 degrees decan. So detriments and falls. Detriment is the sign opposite the domicile, the value is -5. Fall is the sign opposite the exaltation with the value being -4. And peregrine is a planet with no essential dignity, so 0 points. It's considered wandering and resourceless. All right. Now I want to look at the planetary joys by house, whole sign system. So we look at the house, the planet, and the reason for joy. And I'll just switch the color so we're not confused. All right. So you see the first house contains Mercury, which is the house of life and consciousness and communication. The third house has the moon, which is the goddess of crossroads, travel, and change. The fifth house is holding Venus, which is the planet of pleasure, offspring, and artistic expression. While the sixth house is holding Mars, the planet of illness, labor, and conflict, and Mars rejoices in adversity. The ninth house holds the sun of God, oracles, foreign lands, higher knowledge. The 11th house is holding Jupiter of good fortune, friends, allies, and benefactors. And the 12th house is holding Saturn, the planet of grief, imprisonment, hidden enemies, and solitude. So the joys are not used as house rulerships, but as an additional layer of condition. All right, Appendix D is sect, diurnal, and nocturnal alignment. So sect, diurnal, nocturnal, common. Planets, Sun, Jupiter, Saturn above the horizon for diurnal. We see that it would be houses 7 through 12, and the fundamental energy is masculine. All right, so that's the preferred hemisphere, these planets above the horizon, and then the preferred gender of the sign. So again, we see it with nocturnal, we have the moon. In the preferred hemisphere, Venus, Mars below horizon, so houses 1 through 6, and the preferred gender is feminine. And so what's common is Mercury, and it aligns with a sect of chart ruler or dominant sect. Look at the benefits of sect. A planet in sect and its preferred hemisphere in a chart of its own sect is considered strengthened, well-tempered, and constructive. Malefics in sect, for example Saturn in a day chart, Mars in a night chart, are significantly less destructive. Alright, Appendix E is the Chaldean order and planetary hours. So we rank first, slowest. Saturn governs the first hour of Saturday. We're looking at the rank, planet, and the order of speed. Alright. Alright. Second is Jupiter, first hour of Thursday. Third is Mars, first hour of Tuesday. Fourth is Sun, first hour of Sunday. Fifth is Venus, first hour of Friday. Sixth is Mercury, first hour of Wednesday. And seventh, the fastest, is the Moon, first hour of Monday. We have our application here. The Chaldean order determines the sequence of planetary hours. Each day's first hour is ruled by the planet of that day. Then successive hours follow the descending order. It also underlies the assignment of decan rulers and certain Time Lord sequences like for Daria. Alright, Appendix F is formulas for major lots, Arabic parts. So lot, day formula, sun and day chart, and then we have our night formula. Sun in a night chart. So here's what I'll do. Alright, that looks good. So lot of fortune is the ascendant in moon, subtracting sun for our day formula. And the ascendant in sun subtracting moon is for our sun in a night chart. So our lot of spirit has the ascendant adding the sun, subtracting the moon. And then in our night chart for the lot of spirit, it would be ascendant adding the moon, subtracting the sun. Lot of Eros, we're adding the ascendant and Venus, subtracting the lot of spirit. Same. Lot of necessity is ascendant adding Saturn, subtracting the lot of spirit. Lot of victory is ascendant adding Jupiter, subtracting a lot of spirit. And lot of courage is ascendant adding Mars, subtracting a lot of spirit. In our calculation rule, all lots are computed using degrees of the zodiac, so 0 degrees through 360 degrees. Add the positions of the 2 points, subtract the third, and convert back to a zodiacal degree. Alright, Appendix G, Time Lord Systems Overview. So system, origin, structure, activation. So perfection is Hellenistic, and it's one house per year moving in sign order from the ascendant. Sign on the cusp, whole sign, and its ruler govern the year. Age 0 equals first house, age 1 equals second house, etc. We have zodiac releasing Aphesis, which is Hellenistic. Vidias valens. These are periods and sub-periods based on the lot of fortune or spirit, measured in 30-degree signs. Each sign's ruler and the releasing planet define the theme, calculated from a peak period, LOF, or the ascensional times of the zodiac. For Daria medieval Persian, Abu Mashar, 7 planetary periods of varying length, so a total of 75 years, each divided into sub-periods. Order follows the Chaldean descending. Begins at birth, first period determined by sect, moon for night, sun for day. Distributions through the terms totally make life subdivided by the bounds terms of the planets that rule the high leg or aphetic points, used primarily for longevity and critical year indicators. Alright, Appendix H is ancient astrological sources, textual tradition. We look at our author, work, century, and key contributions. So for example, we have Hermes, Claudius Ptolemy, Vidias valens, Dorotheus of Sidon, Firmicus, Maternus, Abu Mashar. So Hermes, Trismegistus, Liber Hermetis, a trib, 2nd through 3rd century, Lots, Deacons, Monomoria. Claudius Ptolemy, Tetrabiblos, 2nd century CE, synthesized and systematized aspects, triplicities terms. Vitius Valens Anthologies, 2nd century CE, extensive case studies, Sodaigo releasing, sect theory, Dorotheus of Sidon, Carmen Astrologicum, 1st CE, Monomoria, Catarchic Astrology, Triplicity Rulers, Firmicus Maternus, Mathesis, 4th CE, compilation of Hellenistic techniques, houses, joys, and lots. Abu Mashar, Great Introduction, 9th CE, transmitted Hellenistic astrology to medieval Europe, for Daria Hayes. Now these appendices are designed to be used alongside the main glossary, providing the structural tables and conceptual maps that ancient practitioners would have memorized or kept as reference. Thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one with peace and love. Piscean out.